All right, now for another chapter in the endless saga of how to view 3D stereoscopic photos on Oculus Go. Um, I had made a video before of a program called Chat and how you can go ahead and see stereoscopic photos on VChat. It's a cumbersome process because the program, excuse me, VTime. The program is made for social interaction, and there's, showing pictures is just one little aspect of it. But it was the only one I could find at the time that actually showed stereoscopic photos in 3D. I mean, it's a virtual reality. You should be able to see that. You can do it on Google Cardboard, I'm sure on Daydream. You can do it with a regular stereoscopic viewer or a Viewmaster. You would think you could do it on PlayStation VR, although it's below the Sony way to do it. But there would be an easy way to do it on Go, but I didn't find an easy way. I had heard of the program Pigasus as a media player, but there's other media players that I had that I was more familiar with that I'd used on other platforms, so I never really investigated it. And one of the people in one of the 3D groups, I hope I'm saying his name correct, Ron Labbe, L-A-B-B-E, had suggested that Pigasus did this. And it didn't say it in its normal, when it was being promoted that it did it. There's a lot of programs, as I'd said before, that do 3D movies, but very few that do 3D stills. And he said that this one did, and told me, because Pigasus is a dual type of viewer. You can view pictures and or movies that are stored locally on the headset, as you see here, that are in the SMB protocol and DLNA. So you can have a DLNA server. I'm using Plex, which Plex has its own program, but I find it to be very quick, and it's working very well with this program. If you're not familiar with this and you're looking at this in one of the 3D enthusiast groups, you don't know what this is all about, UPnP or anything, just leave a comment or PM me or message me. I'll be happy to help you, but you can get tutorials on it. It's more daunting than it actually, seeming than it actually is to be able to view your photos. So with this, the beautiful part is you're able to have your entire photograph collection, which is in the gigs, I'm sure, for most of you. For me, it's in the multiple gigs, and not have to put it locally on the headset, because this, what you're about to see, is streaming. So inside the media selection, I'll just go back one time. I choose DLNA. It's not going to say Plex, but it's basically Plex is a subdirectory, the Plex media server. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And that's uncool. Hope it loads. Please check device permissions. All right. Very cool, because you can't pause Facebook Live, and I did not feel like messing with that. Okay, so here's the different, these are stock directories that come inside of Plex, and you can add different libraries. So I added a library called SBS Parallel Photos. And that's my local, on my computer, parallel pictures. And it'll go ahead and furthermore cut it up into different groups. None of this is my doing. It separates it by aperture, cluster, ISO, lens, all this stuff, shutter speed, but I don't care about any of that. So I'm just going to go to all photos, and it's going to load them. So there's quite a few here, but I'm just going to go, I guess, somewhere in the middle and give an indication of what it's all about. So I'm going to choose this one. And here's a picture of, let me get another picture. You can go hit the next picture here. Here's a picture of old San Juan. So when you're on the picture, you can go ahead and hit your view options. So if I hit view options and I click 3D, I can choose which style I'd like to see. Now, if I loaded an over-under into Pigasus, well, then I'd click over-under. But since I loaded side-by-side, I'm going to hit side-by-side. and voila, you can't see it, but right now I'm looking at a three-dimensional picture. That's reading the side-by-side picture and turning it into a three-dimensional picture. So thank you, Ron, for pointing this out to me. And if anyone else was struggling with this type of situation, not being able to view your stereo photos on Oculus Go. Oh, one great part about this, besides the sticky screen, which is similar to other media players where it follows you and you can resize the screen, you can have a curved screen. So if I go ahead and hit the curved screen, you can actually change the curvature. I don't want to mess with it now, but you can change the size of the screen. It's very immersive. It gives a feeling of the new Google VR 180 specs or technology, whatever, but it gives that feeling, and I can actually wrap it around. Sometimes the controller, there it is. Okay, it's a little wonky. So if I was to wrap it a little bit more, it's that much more immersive. So I'm going to load another picture. And it's taken a while. So when you see the loading for quite a while, sometimes that's due to an internet connection. I believe this is only working on my 2.4 and not, look at that selfie. Okay, so let me go ahead, hit 3D, and you can see, oh, that's over under. So on the side-by-side, you can't really see it, but it's three-dimension and curved, so it's very immersive. So make it flat screen again. I hope this helped somebody who might be on the quest to see all of your stereo photos on Oculus Go or Oculus Rift, or I think that's basically it, because I know that Google uses different softwares and probably is able to do it easier. So thanks for watching. Again, the program is Pigasus. It's $3.99. Since we're here anyway, as a viewer, it's super cool. You can actually do the same thing that I just did. I'll just do it again. Let's go to Photos and back to Parallel Photos. Let's go to All Photos. And I was just looking in. When you do virtual reality, you have the option of doing generally the theater or a dark room. And the dark room is just what it is. It's basically to investigate the shot. Oop, that's not what I want to show you. I'll go back. Unfortunately, that was in my collection. How do I get out of here? Go back. Other things to show you. So load up. From what I can see on those tiny thumbnails, it's Dollywood. All right. So if you go ahead and go to theater selection and you choose this is called the void theater, so there's nothing around it. A lot of programs have this, like Netflix has this, other programs, but if you go to your cinema theater, then you can once again choose how you want to see the picture. So I can sit in this fun movie theater and go through all my 3D pictures. Oh, I'll close the menu. Oh, I hit theater by accident. And I can look at my whole collection sitting in the movie theater, which is pretty darn cool if you ask me. And the resolution for what this is, it's not going to be as good as using a L'Oreal or an Owl or anything that does not highly magnify the pixels on what you're looking at. But as far as virtual reality goes and looking at 3D pictures in virtual reality, from my experience, this is the best way to do it. The resolution on the Oculus Go is very high. It's clearer than it is on the PlayStation VR and much easier to just sit and enjoy. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or reach out, and we'll see you next time. Let's get out of this movie theater.